Dear friends, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Ajay Chandel from Mittal School of Business, lovely Professional University, Punjab. I'm going to present before you Module 22 titled Channel Member Selection and Evaluation of Channel Alternatives under the paper Tourism and Hospitality Marketing. After completing this module, you will be able to understand the concept of channel members selection, understand the concept of evaluation of channel alternatives, understand the various inducements to keep channel members motivated. Introduction. Place or distribution is one of the very important parts of marketing mix. A distribution channel is a chain of businesses or intermediaries through which a good or a service passes until it reaches the end consumer. It can include wholesalers, retailers, distributors, and even the internet in itself. Channels can be divided into direct and indirect forms. Direct channels allow the consumers to buy the goods or services from the manufacturer, and indirect channels allow the consumer to buy the goods and services from a wholesaler or retailer. A firm has to position and distribute its product or service at a place that is accessible to its existing and potential buyers. Deciding on the place or distribution strategy is a very complex process, as it involves having a very deep understanding of the target market. Understanding the target market's needs and preferences inside out is useful in discovering the most efficient positioning and distribution channels that directly speak with the firm's target market. Given to the complex nature of tourism and hospitality product, tourism distribution channel network is also an extremely complex system. Emergence of technological advancements, development of online social networks, online reviewing websites, as well as mobile location-based services have added additional channels of distribution to the existing traditional tourism distribution channel, making it even more complex. Since selection of channel members in any business has a great significance, it becomes an area of great concern for many businesses. Carefully selected channel members help organizations, products, and services penetrate the market by promoting their sales into the market like a responsible manner, while any challenge faced post-selection can prove fatal. For business success, this chapter will focus on channel member selection and evaluation of channel alternatives. Channel member selection. Channel member selection process consists of three basic steps. 1. Finding prospective channel members. 2. Applying selection criteria to determine whether these members are suitable. 3. Securing prospective members for the channel. 1. Finding prospective channel members. There can be a number of sources a firm might find useful in finding appropriate channel members. Most important sources for finding prospective channel members are A. Field sales organizations. Companies' salespeople can be the best source to identify the potential channel members, usually better than anyone else in the firm. They are usually capable of picking up information about prospective intermediaries. They may even have lined up prospective intermediaries as a result of their constant efforts in building business connections. However, this role of existing salespeople in companies is usually not taken any seriously, and companies might not adequately reward salespeople for their efforts in finding potential channel members. B. Trade sources. Another very important piece of information about prospective intermediaries might be explored from trade sources like trade associations, trade publications, directories, trade shows, etc. These trade sources might prove to be valuable. These sources must be used to interact and finalize channel members. C. Resellers' inquiries. Many firms learn about potential channel members through direct inquiries from intermediaries handling their products. Prestigious firms usually receive maximum number of such inquiries. This might lead to a rich source of important data for selection of intermediaries. D. Customers. Existing base of existing and prospective customers might be exploited as a source of information, using informal or formal survey techniques to mine the views of customers might be able to generate useful insights about the strengths and weaknesses of a prospective channel members from the customer's point of view. E. Advertising. Advertisements in trade publications offer another approach to finding channel members. Trade magazine advertising can lead to the generation of a large number of inquiries from prospective members. It therefore can provide a large pool of data for making intermediary selections. F. Trade shows. Many trade associations at the wholesale and retail levels conduct annual conventions at which numerous representatives from the various organizations are represented. Attending companies can avail a large pool of prospective inquiries from such conventions. Trade shows or conventions thus could be a very important source for finding potential channel members. G. Other sources. Some firms also find additional sources helpful in identifying prospective channel members. Such sources may include Chamber of Commerce, banks, and local real estate dealers, classified telephone directories or yellow pages, direct mail solicitations, contacts from previous applications, independent consultants, list brokers that sell lists of names of businesses, business databases, and the internet. Applying selection criteria to determine whether these members are suitable. After having developed a list of prospective channel members, firms now should evaluate their prospects in light of some selection criteria. If a firm doesn't have any criteria for selecting channel members, it must design one. Given to the nature of business environment, which is highly volatile and turbulent, no selection criterion is well suited under all conditions. Here are discussed various selection criteria given by different authors. A list of 20 key questions for industrial firms to ask from their prospective channel members as a selection criteria was developed by Brandel. Lavesek and McQuistion proposed that for highly technical products sold, manufacturers should select distributors who carry a small rather than a large array of products in their portfolio. They proposed that with a smaller rather than a larger product mix, more attention can be paid to a particular manufacturer's product, which calls for more focus given to its complex nature. They were also of opinion that the market coverage of potential channel members must be specified as a yardstick for selection. It was also opined that since sometimes less financed firms are hungrier and more aggressive, the financial capabilities of potential channel member should not be overemphasized. A criterion consisting of 12 major components grouped under 3 basic categories: sales and market factors, product and service factors, and risk and uncertainty factor was given by Shipre. Yua and Callantone identified 6 major components of selection criteria, which were commitment level, financial strength, marketing skills, product-related factors, planning abilities, and facilitating factors. These factors were referred to as core competencies that prospective distribution member must possess for effective role to play in the complex business markets. However, the most comprehensive and definitive list of channel members selection criteria was proposed over 3 decades ago by Pegram. 10 of the most widely used selection criterion components are: A. Credit and financial conditions. Since channel members at times have to extend a lending hand to the manufacturers in terms of financial matters, the investigation of the credit and financial position of prospective intermediaries is extremely important. B. Sale strength. The selected intermediary has to push the product in the market in the wake of the cutthroat competition. The sales staff of the intermediary must have skill sets to outperform competitors to meet sales requirements. Hence, not only the quality of the salespeople, but also the size of sales team employed should be an important factor in evaluating sales competencies of the firm. C. Product lines. Product lines, currently the part of intermediaries' product mix, can have an important role to play in selecting a particular intermediary. Manufacturers usually consider 4 aspects of intermediaries' product line. These are: 1. Competitive products, 2. Compatible products, 3. Complementary products, 4. Quality of the lines carried. There are some important guidelines that must be taken care of while selecting an intermediary. These are: 1. Many times both wholesale and retail intermediaries carry directly competitive products in their product mix. Manufacturers usually try to avoid intermediaries who carry directly competitive product lines, for this might lead to internal competition. 2. Manufacturers usually prefer intermediaries that carry compatible product lines in their product portfolio. 3. Manufacturers look favorably on intermediaries who carry complementary products. because they offer a better overall product mix to their customers. 4. Manufacturers try to select intermediaries that carry product lines that are equal to or better than their own lines. No one wants to be associated with poorly performing lines if one can avoid it. Reputation. Most manufacturers will try to eliminate prospective intermediaries that do not enjoy a good reputation in their community. E. Market coverage. The ability of the intermediary in covering the geographical territory that comprises of the manufacturer's target market and hence manufacturer would like to reach is known as market coverage. Companies will try to get the best territory coverage with a minimum of overlapping. F. Sales performance. The ability of the prospective intermediary in helping the manufacturer to capture as much market share as the manufacturer expects is a prime deciding factor in channel selection. G. Management succession. The continuity of management can be a critical factor in case the intermediaries are managed by the firm's owner or founder. H. Management ability. If the prospective channel members' management have a bad reputation, many manufacturers might not even find such intermediaries worth considering. One of the key determinants of management's ability is their ability to organize, train, and retrain salespeople to accomplish the stated organizational objectives. Attitude. Prospective intermediaries' aggressiveness, enthusiasm, and initiative-taking abilities reflect its attitude towards getting success. These qualities are seen to be closely related to long-term success in handling the manufacturer's product. Size. It is not surprising to see a prospective intermediary being judged on sheer size. The larger the organization and sales volume of a prospective intermediary is, the larger the sales of manufacturers' products can be expected to be. It is usually safe assumption that large intermediaries are more successful, more profitable, better established, and handle better product lines even in adverse times when the competition is severely damaging. Securing the channel members. It is important to remember that it is not only producer and manufacturer who selects the intermediary, but the intermediaries play an important part as decision makers in selecting the manufacturer or producer as well, making selection process a two-way street. The channel manager in production and manufacturing firms can select a number of specific inducements in an attempt to secure channel members' continuous support. The partnership can only be mutually beneficial when both the parties work together as a unified system attaining the partnership goals. Usually, the more specific the manufacturer can be in communicating kinds of support and assistance that will be offered to channel members in accomplishing the business goals, the better it is. Most of the incentives, inducements fit within one of the four areas. 1. Profitable product line. 2. Advertising and promotion support. 3. Management assistance. 4. Fair dealing policies and friendly relationships. Profitable product line. Irrespective of whatever benefits have been offered to the intermediaries, a good product line with a strong sales and profit potential offered to the prospective intermediary lies at the heart of manufacturer or producer's intermediary relationships. It is even more important for manufacturers with products that are not well known to do a good job in communicating the benefits of handling their products from the channel members' point of view. The whole idea is to emphasize upon how effective their products can be in generating sales and profits for not only the manufacturer but the channel members as well. Advertising and promotion prospective intermediaries seek for promotional support to be provided by the manufacturers. Undermentioned factors indicate the commitment of manufacturer towards strong channel member support and serve as a great motivation or incentive to prospective intermediaries to join the channel. This can take many forms like 1. Advertising allowances, 2. Cooperative advertising campaigns, 3. Point of purchase material, 4. Showroom displays, management assistance perspective. Channel members might assign a great deal of weightage to the manufacturer's commitment in helping them by going a step beyond advertising and promotional support, by extending the support to help them manage their businesses better. Management assistance can take many forms and might well cover areas such as 1. Training programs for channel members, 2. Financial analysis and planning related support, 3. Market analysis, 4. Inventory control procedures, 5. Promotional methods, 6. Other business functions, fair dealing and friendly relationship. A marketing channel relationship should not be considered as a purely business relationship, but a relationship based upon humanitarian grounds as well. The manufacturer should be able to communicate to the prospective channel members that the business entity is genuinely interested in establishing a healthy relationship with them, built on the foundations of ethics, trust, and concern for their mutual welfare. This focus on fair dealing and friendly relationships should not, however, be expected to counterbalance failings in the economic or business basis of the channel relationship. Interpersonal relationships, cordiality, and even genuine liking of channel members for each other are no substitute for quality in the form of competitive products, pricing, and support programs to make manufacturer-channel relationships last longer. 4. Evaluation of channel alternatives. Since marketing mix is a concept consisting of highly interdependent components, the failure of one component can cause the failure of the whole system. Therefore, evaluation of the channel alternatives is just as important as the evaluation of any other marketing functions. Let us assume a tourism company identified several channel alternatives and wanted to select the one that will best satisfy its long-run marketing objectives. The company must try to weigh each alternative against economic, control, and adaptive criteria. Let us consider following situation. A tourism company wants to sell its tour and travel packages directly to the customers. The company is trying to decide between two alternatives. Alternative 1, the tourism company could hire 10 new sales representatives who would operate out of its sales office. They would receive a base salary plus a commission on their sales. Alternative 2, or it could use an online travel sales agency that has extensive contacts with customers. The break-even cost chart for the choice between a company sales force and agency has 30 salespeople who would receive a commission based on their sales. Financial criteria. Each channel alternative selected by tourism and hospitality firm will generate a different level of sales and incur different costs. The first and the foremost step in deciding channel alternatives is to determine the sales levels that would be generated by company's personal sales force as compared to channel members. Next, a firm must try to estimate the costs of selling different volumes through each channel selected as a part of distribution mix of the firm. The fixed costs of using channels like sales agency are lower than that of setting up a company's own sales office. But since sales agents charge a larger commission than companies' salespeople, costs usually rise much faster in case of sales agency. There is a sales level at which selling costs for two different channels are same. The company would prefer to use the sales agency at any sales volume below SB. In general, sales agents tend to be used by smaller firms or by larger firms in smaller territories where sales volume is too low to warrant a company sales force. Control criteria. Next, companies should consider evaluating control issues with the two channels selected for selling the tourism packages. Using an online sales agency might pose more control problems, as the sales agency is an independent business entity driven by an interest to maximize its own profits. The agents might focus on the customers who buy a large volume of goods from their entire mix of client companies, tour and travel services, rather than those most interested in a particular company's packages. Further, the agency's sales force might not be equipped with the skills and knowledge of the company's unique travel package, or it might also not be able to handle its promotions effectively. Adaptive criteria. Each distribution channel involves some long-term commitment between the service provider and the channel member, and might as well involve a bit loss of flexibility. Suppose, as per the terms of collaboration, company using an online sales agency may have to sign in a 5-year contract, but during this period, other means of selling, such as a company's sales force, may become even more competent in selling travel packages. However, the company cannot drop the sales agency. Therefore, to be worthy of consideration, a channel involving a long commitment should be greatly superior on economic. Summary. A distribution channel is a chain of businesses or intermediaries through which a good or service passes until it reaches the end consumer. It can include wholesalers, retailers, distributors, and even the internet itself. Channels can be divided into direct and indirect forms. Direct channels allow the consumer to buy the goods from the manufacturer, and indirect channels allow the consumer to buy the goods from a wholesaler or a retailer. A carefully selected channel member helps organization accomplish its marketing and distribution goals. Selecting right channel members involve a three-step process. These steps are finding prospective channel members, applying selection criteria to determine whether these members are suitable, securing prospective members for the channel. Evaluating channel members' effectiveness is yet another decision marketing managers have to make on a day-to-day basis. Three basic evaluation parameters, which are financial, control, and adaptive, can be used to evaluate channel alternatives. Thank you.